Ireland through to the quarterfinals, no doubt about that, after a pretty emphatic 47 points to 5 victory over Samoa. Ireland went into this one needing a bonus point win to make sure they get that foot into the quarterfinals and don't leave their hands or their fate in the hands of that Scotland and Japan game. Job done. Absolutely job done from this Irish side. A bit of a blot on the record will be the red card to Aki. So, he's probably not going to be available for that quarterfinal, depending on how things go after the game. But despite the red card, absolutely emphatic performance for Tonga, for Samoa. Apologies. It's sad for them to go out on that way, but. On this night, it was just Ireland at another level. It all started with a maul try for Ireland. It was from a line-out, and Ireland's line-out was 100%. It's been one area of concern at times for Ireland. Not this night, 100%, and they got some good pay from it. The maul went over, and Best got the first try, 7-0 pretty early. The TMO did have a wee look to see if there was some funny business going on with the maul, maybe some obstruction with somebody doing a kind of truck and trailer, but no deal, and it was 7-0. Try was awarded. After about 5 minutes, Samoa got a yellow card. The hooker Lamb got done for a shoulder, kind of towards the head. Wasn't that much different from the red card, but perhaps slightly less egregious. So. Samoa had a yellow card. It was Ireland with the man up, and then on 9 minutes, Furlong went over with absolute beauty of a try. If you're into props scoring tries, this one was phenomenal. He's still quite a few meters out. He's got multiple defenders in front of him. He goes through like a tank, and he falls just short of the line, but is able to force it over the line. And that makes it 14-0, and that's 7 points scored during the yellow card, which is the only 7 points they score during the yellow card period, but it's good to score at least those 7 during the yellow card, and they got that job done. 14 minutes, Sexton did kick the ball dead from a penalty, which was perhaps one chance missed to get some more points during that yellow card period, because not long later Samoa won a scrum penalty. They lost their own line-out ball from that one, so they weren't able to kind of push back the pressure to Ireland, but I guess both sides throwing away a chance there, and then the yellow card period was done. 21 minutes, Sexton gets a try. Lama, who ended up getting man of the match, had a little mini break, beat a defender, fend, and then offloaded to Sexton, who went over. 21-0. 25 minutes, Samoa did actually get their first and only points of the match through Jack Lamb. It was a try after a line out, a few phases. He had a good carry. That made it 21-5. So at 21-5, it's not game over. It's kind of next try maybe puts Samoa back into it or puts Ireland game over, but it was Samoa who scored it, so kind of game on. And then 28 minutes or 29 minutes, Aki gets his red card. It's a shoulder to the head tackle. It's one of those ones where you look at it and go, there's no malice in it at all, but it's too high. And I know we'll talk about it until the cows come home, but basically, if there's shoulder to the head like that one, it's probably going to be red, and it was. So we'll see what happens after the game, but from that point on, Ireland were a man down. It was always going to be interesting to see how they reacted, because Samoa had scored and they'd gotten a red card. Would they go into their shells? They still needed to get the bonus point try. How would they react? They reacted really well. They still managed to keep a fair bit of pressure on, and they managed to find space, which is interesting given they had a man down. Sexton went in for a second try just before halftime. They had a scrum 5 meters out. Sexton goes down the blind side with a little dummy, and that is the bonus point try secured before halftime. So job done for Ireland, despite the red card before halftime. Halftime stats, run meters 179 to 102, so kind of low, but the pitch was pretty bad in this one. The weather had obviously had its effect. It was cutting up in all kinds of places. You could see the rows where it had been laid, so the pitch was not in a good state. Possession was 69% Ireland, territory 74% Ireland. Tackling percentages, both sides in the 70s. Ireland was 73, but they only were asked to make 30 tackles in that first half. They made 22, and Samoa made 80, or they were asked to make 82 and made 63 in that first half. So Samoa busy defending in that half. Second half, Ireland get held up. The TMO has a look, but there's a Samoan ankle under the ball. So just inches away from a try. 48 minutes though. Lama goes over on the right wing again. I don't know how they're finding the space because they are the team with one fewer guy on the field. One less guy. Fewer, less. But it's Murray's pass. It's the pass that makes the try. He cuts out a man. It's a perfect pass, and Lama just kind of strolls over. And that was all from a quick tap. So 35 points to 5. 58 minutes, TJ Ioane, who's been a machine with his tackling this World Cup, but he has given away a fair few penalties. He gets yellow carded. It was kind of on the back of the team getting warned for conceding too many penalties. They were under immense pressure. The second half, the third quarter of the game, so the first half of the second half, was essentially Ireland camped in Samoa's 22. And 61 minutes, TMO has looked for Amahani maybe getting a try, but they can't find conclusive evidence of it. But Stunda eventually on 65 minutes, he gets the try after huge Irish pressure. Really, that's all it was, and it's 40 points to 5. The final points come from Conway. Ireland turns Samoa over when they're trying to run it out of their own 22, and Carberry gets the ball, puts a kick through, and Conway, who's been in magnificent form when he's been playing, he's the first man to get to the ball, and it's 47 points to 5. That's the way the game finishes. So yeah, pretty emphatic way for Ireland to finish their campaign. Remember, this is the same Samoa team that gave Japan a pretty rough go, and Ireland have done a very convincing job for more than half the game with one man down. So although Samoa did spend 20 minutes with a guy down as well. So I think Ireland going into the quarterfinals, maybe peaking at the right time, looking good. It's hard to know because they were the only team that really looked emphatic after the first week, and then it kind of slipped a bit. But now they seem back to that standard. So I guess we'll see. And I think the red card, despite the fact that Aki will be missing, in all likelihood, it'll have done them good in terms of getting a bit of practice and playing with a man down, because at this World Cup, that's something you need. So final stats: run meters 260 to 173 in favour of Ireland. Possession was 75, territory was 81, so really just dominant. Tackling percentage, Ireland was 78, which I guess for Joe Schmidt he'll be not that happy with, but they only conceded 5 points, so that's the main thing. It was 45 out of 58 tackles. Remember those numbers, 45 out of 58. Samoa tackled at 85%, and they did hold Ireland out for a long period in that second half. 154 tackles. 154 out of 184 that they were asked to make. So that's a whole lot of tackling. They conceded 17 penalties, which is among the highest of the games. At this World Cup, that might be the highest by an individual team. I'll have to go back and check. But the average, like on the first week, the average number of penalties per game was like 16. So for Samoa to give away 17 individually is a lot. Ireland had 5 individuals. So top performers, Lama, as I said, man of the match. He got 65 run meters. The next best Irishman was 29. So you can see the effort he was putting in. 12 defenders beaten is ridiculous. He does seem to have that ability to kind of step and squirm and fend in all these ways to get out of tackles. 2 clean breaks for him as well. Josh van der Fleer had 10 out of 11 tackles, so good effort. In a team which only had to make 45 tackles. They only made 45 tackles. Josh van der Fleer had 10 of them, so top effort from him. For Samoa, Chris Vui had 23 tackles. He did miss 4, but 23 tackles again for an individual is a pretty big effort. Like I said, the pitch wasn't good. The red card was a big opportunity for the game to go haywire for Ireland, but they didn't let it do that. They showed good composure. The big names stood up in the likes of Furlong and Best and Murray and Sexton. All these guys stood up. So going into their quarterfinal, they're looking like a tough team to play. For Samoa, it's a disappointing way to go out. It hasn't quite clicked for them, but they can certainly hold their heads held high from this course of the tournament. They've shown in patches what they can do. Hopefully going forward they're able to take a few steps up again as well. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on this game. It is 2 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to head off and go to bed. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.